225,000.
in like 9 months of building vibe coding apps without any coding experience.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. $250,000
My goal is to hit $1 million in revenue before 20.
before age 20.
Yeah.
And when do you turn 20?
Turn 20 next April. We did like 8K in the first week, and I was like, holy, this is insane. I have a full business from software and I don't know anything about coding.
Yeah.
My dream was 10K a month at the time. I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. I just did it because I wanted to see if it was possible. I also have a friend, Zach, from CalAI.
Oh, that's your friend?
Yeah, he went to my same high school.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just sold it, right?
Yeah, he just sold it to
Okay.
MyFitnessPal. So I saw him and I was like, this guy's clearly onto something.
Yeah, a big inspiration.
100%. And from there, that's when I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go like all in.
Yeah.
These two latest apps were able to scale both to 10K in 45 days.
What'd you do in December again?
So December we did 30, and then January we did 40.
So we've talked a very specific playbook here, but if someone wanted to go out and start their own app like you've done, what advice would you give them?
So I have like 3 different apps that are generating revenue. The one that generated most of it, technically 4, but the one that generated almost all of it up to this date has been WrestleAI. And then
Dude, I didn't even know you were a wrestler. This is awesome.
yeah. And then the last 2 months has been I haven't really talked about them like publicly, but it's like they're like these 2 other apps I've been like launching.
Okay. You can't just do one thing, huh? I
So-
can't either. That's not a knock on you.
So-
I'm just saying.
So no, the reason I did it was wrestling season ended, and so I have a full-time job. So the way I got the full-time job is I don't know how to code, right? I built all these apps on Rourke.
On Rourke?
Yeah, Rourke. It's like an AI app builder.
Like Replit?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like Replit, except it does like Swift. You know what Swift is?
For like mobile iPhone apps.
Yeah, it's like fully mobile. And I built my first app through them. Well, I built my first app called Fight AI, which was like I just built it for myself, and it was like a test app. Then WrestleAI was my first real thing, and from there I was like posting about them for free just because I was like, this is insane. Like I don't know what I'm doing, and like I have a full business
Yeah.
from software and I don't know anything about coding.
Yeah.
And they reached out to me, and me and the founder, we would like talk. I would
Of
tell him,
Rourke?
yeah,
Okay.
I would like tell him like stuff I wanted, stuff. We would just like talk about the platform, and he invited me to join the team for their growth team. So I joined like
Wow.
December. It was like, yeah, it was only like, it was like 2 months into WrestleAI less that like I then just fully pivoted into like full time on Rourke. And like when I do something, I wanted to go, like I still had focus on WrestleAI, but thank God in those 2 months I was actually able to like create some systems, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to like
Yeah.
work on it that much.
I mean, it's
And then
a different game if you have a job. Like you have a responsibility to give them your 40 hours or whatever it is.
Of course, especially because I was like a founding team member. It wasn't like I was joining like a it wasn't a 9 to 5 either. It was like whatever. Like when I woke up to when I went to
Right.
sleep. Now I'm actually probably leaving.
Really?
Yeah, which is cool because in the next like the next stage in life, I'll probably be leaving and then trying to focus on one big business to scale up to like hopefully my goal is to hit $1 million in revenue before 20.
Before age 20.
Yeah.
And when do you turn 20?
Turn 20 next April. The end of next April.
What day?
April 26th.
Okay, my son's the 30th.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so let's back up. I want to get to all that, but
Yeah, sorry.
no, it's all good. You're in
good
high
bad.
school in Long Island. year ago, 2
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah, last year.
Yeah, okay. So you were in high school wrestling,
Yeah,
varsity.
yeah,
Were you good?
yeah. I mean, I was the captain. Yeah,
Okay, so you're in high school, you're wrestling. What else are you doing through high school?
I was starting tons of different businesses. I've done like everything.
Let's list them off.
Okay,
Everything you can remember.
probably had like four like YouTube channels like growing up.
What types of channels?
So I remember when I was really young, I was into comics. I had like a comics thing.
Okay.
I had I think it was like we were doing like pranks, me and my friends at one point. We were doing like trying to do everything.
Not faceless channels? You were like,
No, I was always in front of the camera.
okay.
No, I had one animation channel from this like, and I can't draw. It was like this like pre-made animation thing
Okay.
where I would do like stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This was all when I was pretty young though. And then from there, I tried e-com. So I've done like 2 different e-com. I did like a laser pointer where I was just straight drop shipping.
Okay.
And then I did a supplement company. The supplement company was when I was a bit older. It was right before I started the first app. So I started the app and like the first app and the supplement company around the same time.
AI?
Fight AI, yeah. And they both made around 2K,
Total?
like in a month, within a
Okay.
month.
Dang. Okay.
And
You started them around the same time?
around the same, like I started the supplement company first and I spent like tons of money on like inventory and all that. And then I started the Fight AI was like fun. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I just did it because I wanted to see if it was possible.
Did you use Rourke to build that?
I used Rourke to build it. And
Sorry, what was the premise of Fight AI?
it was like WrestleAI, where it's like you upload a video of your match or your training, and it gives you a breakdown on how to get better.
Okay.
It gives you like breakdown, strengths, weaknesses, how to improve.
For boxing specifically?
For Fight AI was MMA.
Okay.
So it was everything.
So they would take a video of them doing MMA,
Shadow boxing, let's say, or like shadow sparring, or whatever.
upload it, and then your app it's just a rapper, right? Not,
No.
It's nothing demeaning. I have a rap. Rappers are awesome, and it's just saying like, do this. Your form is this. Try this. And what were you charging for it?
$10 a month, 60 for a year.
Okay. And how did you even promote that?
So I just posted like me and my friend, who was like, yo, I'll help you. I was like, all right, sure. And he has got like an eye for content.
Yeah.
We just posted about it, like just post a few dumb videos on Instagram.
Just your friends.
Just on our Instagram.
You didn't have like a ton of followers?
No, we had nothing.
Okay.
It was a new Instagram account we made for Fight AI, and we posted about it.
Okay.
And then we saw that like people were like, we got like 40,000 views, 30,000
Holy
views.
cow. On a brand new Instagram account?
Yeah, and like we're like, whoa, like this is insane. And then it started fizzling out, and then from there we made like $500. It was like 500 MRR. And then I was like looking at it, and I was like, dude, that's like a car. Like,
yeah.
I was like, this is insane. Like, it was like, it blew my mind. And the other supplement company was running paid ads that were like losing me money.
Sure.
There was like there's zero margin.
Yeah. Like, what am I doing with this supplement?
Yeah. So that's what I immediately like threw out this. I was like, screw it. Let's just focus on this.
Yeah.
Because I also have a friend, Zach, from Cal AI.
Oh, that's your friend?
Yeah. He went to my same high school.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just sold it, right?
Yeah. He just sold it to MyFitnessPal.
Yeah, okay.
So I saw him, and I was like, this guy's clearly onto something.
Yeah. He was your like a big inspiration.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And from there, that's when I was like, okay, I'm just going to go like all in on apps.
Yeah. What was he like in high school? Like, would you have seen him doing that?
So yeah, like we did know that he was a smart guy, 100%. But he's like, I don't know, I feel like he's human, you know what I mean? He's like, he's like a funny kid.
He was like one of your friends.
Yeah, he's one of my friends.
Like clearly
funny guy.
He's smart, but he's also just doing dumb stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like
you didn't look at him like that kid's going to be a billionaire.
No, we kind of did.
Okay.
Like we did have that feeling, but he was also like super like chill, like down to earth.
Sure.
And like
where
funny.
did that feeling come from?
Because he was also always starting stuff.
Okay.
So he was always had a business.
Yeah.
And like that was always the vibe. Okay. You know what I mean?
Just like high energy.
Just start anything you can.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what type of supplement brand was it? What were you saying?
It was the nootropics.
Okay. Where were you getting the ingredients for that?
So we sourced them all through like whatever, like different vendors. And then we did like, I forgot what it was called. It was like contract manufacturing or something.
Yeah.
Where we gave the ingredients to the person.
Uh-huh.
And they assembled
co-packing or?
Something like that. I forgot what it was called.
What was the form factor? Like a powder or?
It was a pill.
A pill?
Yeah.
He's selling pills.
I know.
No one died though, right?
No, we did it all right. Like we had like a CGMP or whatever.
Okay.
And all our COAs and whatnot.
What gave you the idea to do that?
I just really loved like messing around with supplements back then.
Yeah.
So like I was drinking like a bunch of energy drinks every day. I still kind of am, but less.
How many?
Not like crazy, but like 3, probably 2 to 3.
What type? What are your drugs of choice?
Ghost, Celsius.
Okay, well this is
those 2, yeah.
This is my number 1. The kiwi guava.
Nice.
Go to.
Nice.
Have you had the?
Have you had grape?
Yeah, it's good.
Really? Grape's my favorite.
Really? No, I like it. It's probably like number 3 for me.
Grape and peach, the fizz-free one.
Fizz-free. I can't even try that.
Really?
Like, why would you not put fizz in an energy drink?
It's like it's like green tea. I don't know. It's like something weird.
I don't drink green tea. But have you had the sour ghost, sour watermelon and sour green apple?
Those are too sour. I'm not like that crazy about them.
I love it.
Really?
I love it. That's like my number 2.
Mine are the peach ghost.
Okay. Those are like too sweet for me.
Yeah. I think now it's starting to get to me. Like when I was like, I don't know. I feel like
I like peach flavor.
Past few months, it's been getting like ghosts have been getting like too extreme.
Yeah. You're like, I'm almost 20.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So supplement brand. So you quit that.
Yeah. We
just abandoned it.
We just abandoned it. Yeah.
But dude, all the while you're learning how to vibe code. You're learning paid ads, which like vibe coding and paid ads.
That's literally
like
all you need.
That's like the 2 best skills a 19 to 99-year-old could learn right now. Would you disagree?
No, I think
or
it's
content and like how to make good viralable content.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I fully agree. the ability to vibe code and then just being creative. That's like it.
Dude. And like, it's not even accurate to say the ability to vibe code. Because really
It's
what you're
super easy.
saying
Anyone
is
can do it.
the ability to speak English.
Yeah, exactly.
Or German or what, the ability to use a language, you can vibe code.
Yeah, the idea is you just need to conceptualize something. Like you just need to be able to think of something and like make it like I like things that are unique.
Yeah.
A lot of people with vibe coding like always recommend like copying like other successful apps.
Yeah.
When it's like then you have to compete with those successful apps and they've been doing it much longer than you. But if you go into the like for example the wrestling space, I had no competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't need a perfect product. I didn't need it like whatever. I just needed people.
Okay.
But
All
the
right.
TAM is smaller.
Yeah. Hey, if you're liking this video, please hit subscribe. You probably think you're subscribed because YouTube shows you my videos, but you haven't done it yet. I just know it. So please check. Thank you. Okay, so Fight AI, what month and year is this when you did the Fight AI and the supplement? brand?
So it's actually exactly a year today, which is sick.
So you just graduated?
So yeah, so
For your first summer,
yeah,
free agent.
first summer, college is coming.
You're still in New York.
Yeah, I'm freaking out because
You've got all this time now.
yeah,
So you're just like,
and I was
man,
stressed
600 milligrams of caffeine a day,
Yeah.
vibe code, supplements. Why were you stressed?
because college was starting, and I was always telling myself like I was always like full of myself. I was always telling myself I was gonna figure out something before college.
Yeah.
And then college came, and now I'm like starting my first semester in like late August.
What
I'm
was
like, damn, I got no motion.
yeah. What was college? Where was that supposed to be?
St. John's.
St. John. They have a
Yeah.
basketball team, right?
Yeah, they do.
Pretty okay.
Yeah,
And that's in New York,
yeah, it's in New York.
Long Island.
It's in Jamaica,
Okay.
Queens. Not a. I mean, it's an okay school. I don't want to like hate,
It's like
hate on everyone
it's
that
like
goes
at the
there.
end of the subway, right?
But yeah, it's like I was like, yeah, I was not happy to be going.
Did you apply to other schools?
I applied to a few other schools. They gave me the most money, and I never put that much of an effort on school, which I regret. I think everyone should.
Don't regret it.
I think everyone should. Like, I don't think you should just be like have an ego.
You should
and,
put effort towards something.
yeah. So I was like, all right, they're giving me the most money. I'm just going there.
Okay. What was your GPA in high school?
I have no idea. I think it was like I had like an 85 average probably.
The same as me. I was like 3.3,
Yeah, probably around
something like that.
there. Yeah.
But most of that was just from cheating on my assignments from my friends. I mean,
I was-
and I could have done it. Like I had
yeah.
the brain power, but I was just lazy. I was just procrastinating.
Yeah.
Okay. What all schools did you get into or apply to?
I applied to Penn State and got rejected, and that's where most of my friends went.
Okay. It's a good wrestling school.
Yeah. And I'm actually so happy I got rejected though. Hindsight.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because like that's where all my friends from my hometown went.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a big partier. I like heavily like dissociate when I go out sometimes.
Yeah.
And if I was constantly in that environment
Oh,
and
man.
I had nothing going for me, I would have like
No.
I would have lost it.
You'd be in the frat world. You wouldn't be building stuff.
Yeah.
You'd
it
have
would've
fun.
been- I would have had a
It's
lot
like,
of fun, but
you're
it would've
having
been a
fun
huge
doing
distraction.
this too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like fun is subjective. All right. So it was June or July 2025 when you were building these?
July 2nd, we released the first app,
Fight AI.
Fight AI. Yeah.
Okay. And your supplement brand was a couple weeks old at this point or
It,
something?
it was like over probably 2 months old.
Okay. Okay. So you release Fight AI. You create a brand new Instagram account. So people started going to the App Store and just searching Fight AI
Yeah.
and they found it. I bet your churn was crazy high.
So we did like 1,800 in the first month. We haven't marketed it since. And it didn't so around the first 500 came from us posting.
Mm-hmm.
The rest came from us sponsoring meme pages.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Still works?
yeah, it actually, because we found one guy with a cultic following. So like,
In the space?
yeah, this guy, Tony, has died. Absolute killer.
Okay. How many followers does he have?
He now has 100,000. I don't remember when we first started working with him, probably 50.
Okay.
But anytime he would post a sponsorship, his audience would get so angry at him.
Really?
Like he had
Just for
this,
like selling out?
he had this weird cultic following. So they would all be like, "We're gonna kill Tony diet." They're starting like death chants in the
That's
comments.
just like the culture of his following.
This because he made like he posts weird memes. So
Yeah.
it formed this like sick culture.
Yeah, yeah.
But it shot our engagement up. So we would post
Wow.
like the first post we did with him. In my mind, I was trying to make a post that didn't look like an ad, and I was still new at this, so it looked extremely like an ad. It was
Yeah.
It was like a kickboxer, and it was this kickboxer because we were working with this other kickboxer. This kickboxer uses AI to train for his next fight, right? And it was like a Twitter headline on top of it. And then everyone caught that it was an ad instantly.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone's commenting.
But their hate made it perform better as an ad.
Exactly. It like shot it up. So that's where the other revenue came. We made 1,800 in the first month. From there, we tried some other stuff, but it didn't really work. We stopped whatever. It was like, it just wasn't continuing to scale.
Mm-hmm.
So we stopped focusing on it. And then that's when I met my partner for WrestleAI. Like, he was a wrestling influencer. So from there, we stopped working on WrestleAI entirely. We stopped working on Fight AI entirely. Still to this day, Fight AI does over 1K a month.
Just by itself.
Just by itself.
Do you know what the churn is? Because like that could mean you churn everyone every month and you replace them every month, or it could mean no one new is joining and your churn is 0. Right?
So I'm guessing it's probably around like 30-ish%.
Okay. Per
like
month?
Month one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And then you like keep retaining them forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we do also have like organically people coming. I have no idea how it's still making this money.
Yeah.
It's just like
you're not supporting it, or
we haven't touched it.
Yeah.
Like literally we haven't touched it.
What model do you use on the back end for that?
GPT.
Which one?
I think like 4 or something.
Is that a good one for like video, for analyzing video?
Yeah, and it was like the latest one that when like we were
4.0.
making it. Yeah.
Okay. Where did you find your wrestling influencer partner?
So my first like thing whenever I made any money was like I hired a VA,
Mm-hmm.
which I recommend everyone do. VAs.
Where do you find them?
I source them through either Fiverr or Upwork.
Okay.
You just hop on a call with them and you just like, I just show them what I do, which is literally like I cater my For You page. So it's literally like just scroll on my For You page and outreach to everyone who has over 25,000 views on average.
Hold on. Outreach every... Okay, so go to your For You page. Anyone that averages 25,000 views on a video in your niche,
Yeah.
DM them and say...
And then I gave him like a DM script. So
And
it's
it's
paid
just like-
promo for
Okay.
paid promo for the app. Sentence about what the app does. Love the content. Would love to work with you.
What are you paying?
Back then we were paying like $2 CPM. Like so we really did this for WrestleAI. That's where like influencers blew up WrestleAI. It was only influencers. We never did paid. And we were paying basically a $2 CPM. We've increased it for some people since then.
Because they're proven?
Yeah, because they've been killers.
Yeah.
This one guy, we actually pay over a $5 CPM. And
Because it converts that well.
It converts decent. And then his videos as paid ads are like insane.
So taking his organic...
Yeah,
and
he was
putting
the
paid
first
behind
one.
it?
He was the first one that we ever did paid ads on.
So he did a promo video for your app. It did well. Then you push paid behind it. And
Yeah.
It did even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never pushed crazy paid for Wrestle, but he was like the only, because we were optimizing for installs. We didn't even know how to optimize for trials back then.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I was learning as I went, but
So that's kind of the playbook, is optimize for installs.
no, I used to say always optimize for purchase. I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to code.
Okay.
So I was looking at this like black box, and I was like, I had like a developer from Pakistan, this guy Usama, who also helped me out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute goat. Greatest guy ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he knew how to set up the optimize for purchases either, or he did, and maybe I didn't tell him, right? So it was literally just we only knew who was downloading the app. So since I didn't know how to fix that, and I started the job too, so I was like, I don't have time to like figure this out, whatever. Now I figured it out. Now I understand. It's actually super simple, and I was being an idiot. But so we're just optimizing for installs. But if you want like to make your ads 10 times more profitable, you optimize for purchases.
Okay. All right. So let's back up. So you were accepted to St. John's. You're going to start in August. You don't want to start in August. You're stressed out because you put this artificial pressure on yourself to be a billionaire before you have to start college, right? Whatever. Okay. So then you start Fight AI in early July. Do you ever start college? What happens after that?
Yeah, I started college. So Fight AI started. My VA was reaching out to a bunch of people in the niche. We talked to a few different people. Then I see this guy. One of the people that I reached out to is this guy, Caden Henshaw.
Okay.
Right? Caden Henshaw is one of the biggest wrestling creators.
Okay.
Right? He was my personal favorite wrestling creator, like of all time.
Did you wrestle in college?
Yeah.
For who?
Parkside.
Parkside.
Yeah.
Is that D2?
Wisconsin? Yeah, it's D2.
Okay. So that just happened to be someone that the VA reached out to randomly.
So no, actually, no, not even them. I'm sorry, I'm messing up my own story. He reached out to someone that knew him.
Okay.
Right? So it was a loose connection. And when I asked the guy, I said, hey, I see that you're mutuals with Caden Henshaw. Right? He goes, I met him once and like we exchanged.
Yeah.
And I go,
so he didn't know him.
Not crazy well.
Yeah.
And I go, I'll like pay you whatever if you just send this DM, right? He sent the DM, right? He said like send the DM, which is basically like I want to rebuild Fight AI, but for just wrestling, because we had a ton of comments. Is this like for wrestling?
Yeah.
People didn't trust it because we were everything,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So does this do just wrestling? He sent the DM, and I sent this guy like 17 emails and 4 DMs on every
So you're
platform.
going all in on Caden Henshaw.
I was going all in on everyone.
Yeah. So they send the DM. Nothing really comes from it.
No, they sent the DM, and he goes, I was meaning to answer this guy's email.
Oh, wow.
And then he answers my like a few days go by. I don't see him respond to my email. I'm like, hey, I need you to follow up. He was like, all right, sure. Follows up. Caden finally gets back to my email, and now I'm like sitting there, I'm shaking, right? Because I'm like, this is like the first, this is the closest thing I've gotten to like somewhat of like a big win. My dream was 10K a month at the time.
Yeah.
So I sent him my phone number because like emails like are the worst.
Yeah.
So I send him my phone, like the first email, I sent him my phone number, and I'm like, hey, my email gets like messed up. Can you just text me? And I'm like, oh, he's not going to text me. He's too like whatever. He's too big time. And then I get a text. Hey, it's Caden. And now I'm like freaking out. Like, hop on the call. I show him Fight AI. I go, look, this is what my conversion rates are, right? Because we had like a decent onboarding. This is what my conversion rates are. This is like what the app does. I want to rebuild it for just wrestling with your audience. Plus like the app, the funnel will be good. Everything will be solid. I want to do this with you. We'll be partners, like 50-50. And people always like rag on me like, oh, like 50-50. And I'm like, dude,
it doesn't exist.
I was nothing without this guy before this guy. Like I literally knew zero.
Yeah.
This guy gave me like a business to like learn with and like test with. So
what'd he say?
So he goes, dude, this looks awesome. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to like commit or whatever. He goes, cause like, I don't know how this looks, but like, I'm very interested. And I go, hi, let's not do any commitments. I go, let me just build out the app. I'll show it to you next week. Like I'll show you like something next week. Let's hop on another call. And then from there, we'll like decide where to go.
Yeah.
So I spent the next week prompting straight, like literally didn't sleep. It was just prompting the whole time. Because I was trying to make it perfect. Back then the model, it was like Sonnet 3.5. It was like terrible.
Yeah.
You had to like, it was evil.
Yeah.
I built out like this MVP in a week. I showed it to him. He's like, whoa, this is insane. I go, now imagine like what it's going to look like in a month. And then he goes, yeah, I'm in. So we did it. Then we had like some older guy, like we had a team of like these older people who were trying to do something similar on web, and they threatened to sue us, but they didn't sue us.
They were just a competitor?
Yeah, they were a competitor who were trying to like stiff arm us, like whatever.
Did they have any justification?
They had nothing.
Yeah.
And their platform sucked, and they had a USA Wrestling partnership.
Oh, shoot.
And they were bragging about it on call. So I had a college class that I missed because I was on call with them for 2 hours. And they were sitting there saying, oh, you're young, you're this, you're that. Like, we have a partnership with USA Wrestling. And he goes, like, I know you think you're going to, like, do well, but, like, you're at an unfair advantage.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there. And now I'm like, I've been on this call for 2 hours. They're not telling me any terms of their deals, though.
Yeah.
So they have a partnership. They could be their janitors. That's considered a partnership.
Anything, right? I have a partnership with Google, aka I have a Gmail email address.
Exactly. Like, we don't know what that means. So they're like, they're trying to get me to sign an NDA. I'm afraid if I sign an NDA and then I release the app, they're gonna say I stole their stuff, right? So I go, I'm not signing anything, and I go, look, I appreciate the fact that you guys think that you're passionate about your product and you think you have the unfair advantage, and their product sucked, and you think you have the unfair advantage. I go, but to be honest, and I look at Caden and I go, okay, like I think Caden's one of the most influential people in this space. I think with just him, we could like take over the space.
Yeah.
And
Caden was on this call too?
Yeah. And I go, and I fully believe in our product. And then I call Caden afterwards. I go, look, I don't want to work with these guys. They're being weird.
So they were kind of talking like, let's partner up maybe?
Because they were trying to get at Caden. They were mad that I got there first.
Yeah.
And I call Caden. I'm like, look, like I don't want to work with these guys. And he goes, yeah, I fully agree. I don't think they like represent our like best interests. And that's when I realized, I'm like, holy crap, I'm partnered with this guy.
Yeah.
And then we released, and in the first week we did like 8K in the first week. And I was like, holy. And then like that guy got like obliterated. He deconnected the website.
Really?
He owned WrestleAI.com. Yeah.
Does he still own it?
I pulled the plug on it. So if you go, it's like 404 not found.
But he still owns the domain.
Still does own the domain.
Okay.
Yeah. We have WrestleAI.app. But our SEO is all above his.
What is your domain?
WrestleAI.app.
.app. Okay.
Yeah.
So they never even got off the ground. So now you need to get a partnership with USA Wrestling.
Yeah, but USA Wrestling doesn't even like represent their athletes that well, from what I've heard. So I don't even know how like
they're just
beneficial it would be.
legitimate, right?
Yeah.
Like, whether they do or don't, like they're a big name. All right. So what month does all this go down? You start college in August.
This was all September. So
Okay.
end of September, September 26th, we released the app.
Okay.
And I was working on it from like all through August and all through like September.
Like nonstop.
Yeah. So I released WrestleAI, and I released another app around 2 weeks later that I put like no effort in.
What app was that?
It was called Green. This app, I had another partner. So another guy hit me up. Like this influencer I hit up, and like they finally got back to me around once I released WrestleAI. And I was like, okay, maybe the strategy is you just partner with influencers. And this guy had like 1 million followers. So I'm like, all right, this guy is like
In
huge.
what space?
In like this like reaction space. So it was like joke. It was like he was like
okay.
he'd like react to videos and you'd make like a funny commentary on it.
Super low value audience then.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
At the time. So I'm sitting there, we're making this app, which it was gonna be like, have you ever heard of RizGPT?
Yes.
It was gonna be like that. It was like a clone of that.
Okay.
And this is also why I push back against clones. So he had a super like low intent audience, and we were making like a slop app, to be honest. And we had no like WrestleAI I was like super passionate about building because like I wrestled. So I wanted to build a tool that I really genuinely liked.
And it's an enthused community. Like wrestlers are different.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I got to work with people I love.
Yeah. So you launched this a couple weeks after. How does that launch go?
Yeah. So they both, and this is like, I always try bringing this up because I feel like it's such an important lesson for like whoever's trying to like build apps and stuff like that. Both apps got 1 million views. So like everyone like obsesses over distribution. Both apps got 1 million views in its first month.
When you say 1 million views, like the app itself in the App Store got 1 million?
No, like total social media views.
Like impressions across platforms.
Yeah.
Or like a video that you're using to promote the app.
Yeah, TikTok and Instagram, let's say, both got over 1 million views in the first month.
Okay.
Right? WrestleAI, the first month did 17K. Green did $35. Yeah. So every time someone's like distribution, you need to make sure what the right people and what you're distributing is actually valuable. Like if you're distributing something that no one cares about, no one's gonna buy it no matter what.
Yeah. That blows my mind.
That's what I always try to say, because like so some people come to me with these ideas and like you have to like make sure it's like a good idea and you're passionate about it.
Right.
Don't try making another looks maxing app. There's been 1 million looks maxing apps.
Right. Well, like I've had videos that, let's say they get 1 million views and they're so high value and high quality that I'll get 40,000 followers.
Yeah.
From that one video. And I'll have other videos that get 1 million views where I'm kind of like trolling and I'm not as serious, and I'll get like 40 followers. Like 40,000 and 40 from the same amount of views. It's the same thing. It's like, is it high value enough? Is it the right audience?
Yeah.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah, and like creative strategy too. So it's like $1 CPM could be expensive and a $10 CPM could be cheap if you have the right creative strategy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so after that $35 launch, you're just like, no.
I was so happy because I was really afraid that this was going to make way more than WrestleAI.
Yeah.
I was like I was afraid.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I'm gonna be known as the RizGPT. No, not even that. I just didn't want to be known as like the RizGPT guy, right? Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna be known as the guy who makes like this slop, right? Yeah. And then it made no money, so I was like, all right, we're done. Like I just instantly cut it. I was like, I'm only focusing on WrestleAI, because I was also only mainly focusing on WrestleAI. I was working on this like very little. Yeah. Then on WrestleAI month 1, the last week of month 1, we did around like 2K in revenue. Okay. Which was lower than all the other
10K
weeks.
First week.
It was like 8K first week.
Okay. 8K. 6, 4, 2, something like that. Okay.
So it's like it's going down a little bit. Like it had a huge up and then it's starting to fizzle. Okay. And then from there, that's when I sat there and was like, all right. And then my part, like Kaden also started getting a bit busy. He was doing RIF, right? Which is like completely fair. It's like a wrestling organization. Okay. It's like, it's like UFC for wrestling. Okay. It's getting big now too. It's sick.
I haven't heard of that.
Have you, Armin Sarukian? No. The UFC fighter? No. Kamzat?
No.
No?
I don't follow UFC.
So like a bunch of UFC fighters are going on there now.
So he kind of lost focus a little bit.
Yeah, so he's like pursuing other ventures as well, which like totally fair.
I want you to do something right now. Open your bank statement and add up every single software subscription that you're paying for. Your CRM, your email marketing tool, text message platform, calendar booking app, funnel builder, review management, or even a separate form builder or automation tool. I've talked to business owners paying $500 to $3,000 a month across 8 or 10 different tools, and half of them don't even talk to each other. So then they go pay for Zapier on top of that just to make things connect. High Level replaces all of it. CRM, email, SMS, funnels, websites, calendars, automations, reputation management, invoicing. One login, one dashboard, one bill, starting at $97 a month. A guy in my community was paying $347 just for ClickFunnels, $99 for MailChimp, $25 for Calendly, $79 for a review tool, and $49 for Zapier just to glue it all together. That's $600 a month if you're not counting. He moved everything to High Level and cut his software costs by over 80%. But the best part isn't even the savings, it's that everything just works together natively. A lead fills out a form on your funnel. That creates a contact in your CRM, which triggers a text and email sequence, books an appointment on your calendar, and then asks for a review when the job's done. One workflow, zero duct tape, and then you can white label the whole platform to resell it to other businesses as your own software. Charge them $200 to $500 a month. Check out gohighlevel.com/TKOpod. They'll give you a 30-day free trial to see what I mean. How many views did like that first launch video get?
I think like 100 and something thousand.
And he posted it to his account?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you push paid behind that at all?
No, we pushed no paid, and like only until like January we started pushing paid.
Okay. And what did you charge for this app for WrestleAI?
Same price, 10 a month, 60 a year.
Okay.
We recently added abandon yearly. So like
abandon yearly?
Like if you click like X, it'll give you like a discount offer.
Okay. Okay. What do most people choose between $10 and 60?
Mostly 60 because we add the trial on 60. So it's like, look, if you want the trial, you have to commit to the year.
And is that the play, you think, for apps like this?
Sometimes. It's different for everyone.
Right.
So like my friend, he just launched a new app and he's been only doing weeklies. Like his goal is to just maximize the total amount of recurring revenue.
Mm-hmm. And that's
which I would always try to front load revenue. This way I had more
for your growth.
Yeah, I had more money to then grow. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was never bottlenecked by cash.
Yeah.
If you're not super growth aggressive, I would say push monthlies instead.
Yeah.
Because your LTV will probably be higher on monthlies.
Okay. All right. So 17K. Second month, he starts doing other stuff. What do you do?
So that's when I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, but we got to now figure out like what to do. So like the most obvious was like, all right, let's just get more people in the wrestling space posting about WrestleAI.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I was like, hey, whoever you have, like send them to me, right? And then I would send DMs off of our brand account, paid promo for WrestleAI. And another thing I didn't realize is because wrestling's a small niche and we had Caden posting about it, our response rate was insane, right?
After Cade, because he puts a like an
brand
air of
reputation.
legitimacy on
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
So
now you're reaching out to influencers that have already heard of you.
Exactly.
Not just that, but from a trusted source.
Yeah. Okay. So it was great.
Yeah.
And the first person I signed was this kid, Corey Zader, another absolute killer. Shout out to that kid.
Okay.
Our first deal, me and Corey, now he's made thousands of dollars. He's doing well. But my first deal between me and him was, it was 6 videos for $400. Yeah. Yeah. It was 6 videos for $400, $70 a post. Okay. Right. He was like, he was pretty new as well. And CaliAI also sponsored him. Right.
What type of influencer is he?
Wrestling influencer, and he posts like day in the life content.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So he makes this first video, right? So the first video costed us $70, right? Drops the first video. I watch the video. He doesn't say WrestleAI up until like 30 to 40 seconds in, and he does a CaliAI sponsorship before he does the WrestleAI sponsorship.
Dude.
Right? And I'm looking at the video, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like I'll tell him next time, like he can't do that, this and that. The video crushed. 500K views, and we made over 5K off of it because no one cared about the CaliAI sponsorship. All they saw was, what do you mean this app can analyze my wrestling footage?
Right. For all we know, it did well for CaliAI too.
Yeah, maybe it probably did well for CaliAI. Probably not the same though. Yeah. You could like we were able to tell by the comments. Like that's what I was like, looking at. So everyone was going insane. Like what the hell? This app does this and that. So now I'm like, I don't care if there's a CaliAI sponsorship or not. Like I'm riding high. I'm like, this is insane.
I just paid $40 to get 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the return was insane. And the bigger return, this is why I say even on your first, it's okay to be unprofitable on your first few influencers because they're going to start spreading your word to other influencers. So we also, because of him, a ton of different people like really respected Corey's content, right? And we got even more brand trust. And then from there, we started just sponsoring a bunch of different creators, probably like a total of 10 maybe, 10, 20, around there. Then we cut down to like 6, 7,
Okay.
right? Like towards like the end.
6 or 7 trusted
Great
creators
people,
in
like
the space
absolute
that you just use over
killers.
and over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from there, that drove most of all of our growth.
How did his other 6 videos do?
They all did great.
Okay.
So we
As well?
no, not as well.
Okay.
That first video was a banger, but he got like 500K views.
Yeah.
But his RPM was great,
Yeah.
which made it worth it.
So 17,000 the first month. What did months 2, 3, 4 plus look like?
So Apple was holding all of it.
Yeah.
So Apple was holding 17K that we were gonna get paid out in December.
Mm-hmm.
So all I had was like $1,000 in my bank account that I had to sustain growth with.
In October.
Yeah, I had to sustain growth with, and like to make sure that like we're not only relying on Caden, and like I just got super scrappy with this $1,000.
Constraints equal creativity.
Yeah, and then we were able to do like I think it was like 19, like a little bit, 19 and a little bit the second month. So it wasn't crazy growth. Okay.
1,000?
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, we still were able to
You're
grow.
trending downwards at the end of the first.
Yeah,
And
so
turn it around.
we were able to turn it
'Cause you're
around and get to
desperate.
like 19. Yeah,
And how did you do that? More Caden videos, more other influencers?
other influencers and Caden.
So that's your only growth playbook for the first few months.
Yeah, it was
It's just organic
creators.
influencer. Were you paying flat fee per video like you did with
some
Story?
flat, some CPM.
And what CPM did you start with?
2 and 2.5.
Okay. Now, when is that paid out though? Because a video can keep going for a while.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's one thing that we did really well.
Yeah.
We would pay him out. We'd be like, let's keep it simple. Like we'll pay you a week after the video.
Yeah. But then it keeps going.
So our effective CPM was sub $1.
So an average deal would be like a video that gets 100,000 views. A week later, you pay him $200.
Yeah.
But then it might get over the next 2 months another 100,000.
Exactly.
Dropping your CPM in half.
Exactly.
Are these pretty evergreen videos? Like are they likely to keep going for a while? Because I post some shorts and like they're dead in a week.
Yeah.
And I
So
post
yeah.
others and they go for months.
Some would keep going. Others would die out. Like
Okay.
we wouldn't put too much like thought into like making sure that all of the videos were evergreen.
Yeah. Were you ever concerned about people like paying for fake views to boost their
Yeah, but the idea was we'd figure that out. Like, so you could tell by like
comment ratio?
if somebody has like a bunch of emojis in
Yeah.
comment sections, like there's like, and like we were working with wrestlers, it was like trusted.
Yeah, they're not like marketers. Like they probably don't really know that stuff.
Yeah, and if we saw that like it wasn't driving like if we saw the video wasn't really driving
Yeah.
sales, we would just cut the influencer.
But how are you able to always attribute it to sales if you've got multiple videos going at once?
A lot of it was just intuition,
Okay.
being able to like just look at your charts and like kind of understand, like just keeping track of all the views and all the results.
What tools do you use to keep track of all those?
So I just built out like this sick internal tool.
Your own?
Yeah, it tracks. I run my entire business on it.
Really?
My meta ads, my creators, like
Like a dashboard?
contracts are sent through it.
That's cool.
It's super easy.
What did
And then
you
I have
use before?
Claude, like with Post Hog as well.
Post Hog?
Yeah, and then like it's all the data sources are in one. So I have like a Claude that I could literally talk to, like
An MCP?
Yeah, I'll be like Claude trained on all these like data sources, and then I'll be like, hey, what are like the numbers for today? What's my P&L? Like, what's this and that?
Yeah.
It's sick.
Okay. Okay, so you start doing CPM deals, $2 to everyone. Second month is 19K, but you still don't have any money.
Yes, I have no cash.
60-day runway.
Yeah, so the second month was November, third month's December,
Okay.
and now the first chunk just hit the account.
Okay.
So now I'm like, okay, now it's time to like go crazy.
Sorry, September was your first month?
End of September 26th, so basically October.
Okay. And then so 17K October, 19K November, December, the money hits. What do you do with the money and what are your sales in December?
Yeah, so the money hits, we just 10x what we're doing, get more influencers. Now we got up to like around 20 influencers in December,
Okay.
right? 20-ish, 20 maybe overkill. Because there's just not, the biggest bottleneck for us was finding, like we started running out
Small
of,
niche.
we started running out of influencers.
Yeah. That's my next question was like, how many are there?
That was like our big thing.
A couple hundred?
Yeah.
Are you reaching out to athletes too? Like I'm thinking like David Taylor, like Bo Nickel,
Yeah.
D1.
We have a video from
recent
Bo.
wrestlers.
Bo.
Really?
Yeah, we have a video from Bo. This guy, I really wanted to work with Daniel Zapita.
Mm-hmm.
We were in talks, and then like I think he just got busy. Like he
Okay.
stopped answering. I followed up a few times, but we never closed the deal. Jax Forrest, also we were gonna get deals with all these guys. Yeah, I don't know if he ever made the video for us.
Because
I
there's
gotta
hundreds
double
of current D1 wrestlers.
Yeah,
There's thousands of like recent D1 wrestlers. And then there's probably hundreds of like wrestling influencers that weren't D1 wrestlers, right?
That were good at content.
Yeah, because that's the difference.
So the ROI on like a really good wrestler that's not that good at content
Yeah.
isn't really as big as the ROI on,
Gotcha.
even though they have so much accolades.
What's stopping you from finding one of your influencers that's really good at content and then going to like Roman Bravo Young or whatever, like RBY?
He's really great at content. We tried getting him a ton of
someone
times.
that like maybe has a lot of followers because they're a big wrestling name but are bad at content, and saying like, hey, we're going to coach you how to do this. Just take a video like this, send us the raw file. We'll send you back the edited version and you post it. You know what I'm saying?
The thing that stops us is the fact that it's wrestling season. Wrestling season is the fact that wrestling season is our best season.
It was when you were doing this, you're saying. Like right now,
it's not, right now it's not, but now it is. Yeah.
December is like,
maybe now would actually be the best bet to try that.
Yeah.
And then ask him if he'd hold off like a few months.
Yeah, like just take a raw video that looks like this, you doing like takedowns or whatever, and then we'll edit it, send it back, and you just post what we send you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, actually that'd be the best strategy. Well, I was actually thinking about something similar. I want to hire one of our creators.
Yeah, just upload it to
but I haven't offered him yet. I'm going to send the offer probably late July.
Okay.
Because right now we're like chilling because it's like we're out of season.
Because you'd probably rather have a 50,000 follower influencer, wrestling influencer that's really good at content than 500,000 follower athlete that sucks at content, right?
Yeah.
But if you could have the best of both worlds.
You could have both. That'd be great. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so December, what'd you do in December again?
So December we did 30, and then January we did 40.
So you kind of have, what you have going for you is it is wrestling season. Everyone's excited for NCAAs. Like it's the culture. Like people are signing up more because it's wrestling season, but you have working against you is athletes are busy.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a net win. Like it's probably better to launch this all else equal in September than any other time.
Yeah, 100%.
And so that was kind of lucky. Like the timing just kind of worked out.
Yeah. And that was like, I mean, it wasn't the plan because I didn't meet Kate until August, but like I told Kate, like we got to make sure like we're getting this for the peak of wrestling season.
Okay, so January 30K, you said?
January 40.
So 30 in December, 40 in
January, yeah.
And this is like...
And January, by the way, January, I was first month in my full-time job. I worked maybe 4 hours on it.
And this is like, we say revenue, but it's either monthly recurring or yearly recurring.
Yeah.
Like it's recurring.
Yeah.
All right. 40 in January, which is wild. So you're October, November, you're 4 months in, 40 grand. February is crunch time. That's like
season's kind of ending.
Yeah. Conference championships.
Yeah. And like the wrestlers who are like quitters, they're starting to quit.
Yeah.
But we still had a great month.
When you say quitters, you mean like mostly high school wrestlers? Is that like the biggest? Because there's a zillion more high school wrestlers in college.
Yeah.
Right?
High school's our biggest.
Okay, so
and pee-wees like shot. We had a lot of like little kids hit us up.
So in February, you have two things happening that are going against you. A, wrestlers are quitting, probably for good. And B, the seasons are just ending. These high school seasons are ending at the end of February, give or take. So what were your sales in February?
It was still like 30-ish.
Okay.
It was like 28.
And it's a shorter month.
Yeah, it was like 28 and like that was pretty much it. Like it wasn't bad. We were still very profitable. Like because I think like our total our expenses are very low.
How are you managing this 50-50 partnership and expenses? Like, are you making a cash distribution every month?
Yeah, so
each other
we started taking out in like December-ish. In the beginning, I told him like I want to scale this as much as possible. I never want to scale this because we want to take money. You know what I mean? And he was kind of on board, but it came to a point where we just weren't able to spend the money. So every month I would send out the distributions.
But the distributions are coming after you're paying expenses, paying the influencers. Yeah. Okay. Token cost, was that very high?
No, our most expensive month was January. It was $2,000.
And what model were you using or are you using for this?
I don't even remember. It was the best OpenAI model.
Still 4.0, GPT 4.0?
I think this may have been 5. I'm not sure.
I'm kind of surprised that the tokens aren't higher. Is it just because the usage isn't that much?
Yeah, so what we found out is the analysis feature gets them in the door, but you can only really use the analysis feature like 5 times.
An analysis being they take a video and upload it?
Yeah, uploading the wrestling match.
Okay.
That's like our viral feature, right? But after you do that 5 times, it's like, okay, you're running out of matches and you're starting to get you're usually you do the same problems multiple times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you have a firm
Head up.
grasp.
Head up.
Yeah, exactly. You have a firm
Don't look
grasp
back.
of what the issues are. What we did to combat that, and we saw once we started adding this stuff, like our churn went from like this to like this.
Adding what?
Calorie tracker feature to make sure like
Ooh.
wrestlers are really
Makes them sticky.
heavy. We were heavy on weight management stuff.
Okay.
And
Was the calorie tracker similar to CalAI and they just take a picture and upload
yeah,
it?
we had like all the options to track calories.
Okay.
Like same as MyFitnessPal.
Okay.
Barcode, database,
Was that hard
everything.
to implement? Or like tedious?
We did just APIs.
You're just plugging into a database of food and
Exactly. We were just using
image
APIs.
recognition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the calorie tracker was big, and calorie tracker, weight mode, you'd upload your wrestling calendar. So you'd upload your match schedule, and it would parse it into the app's calendar, and then it would keep track of your weight. So it'd be like, hey, you gotta make sure you're cutting.
Cool. Hey, it's Tuesday. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You got match Wednesday.
Yeah.
We also added like stance and motion mode, where it'd call out for you, and like do your call outs.
Like the app would tell you to do stuff.
Shots, brawl, circle. Yeah.
That's cool. People like that.
Yeah, people liked it because like if you don't have your coach, you're trying to like drill alone. You want like your kind of like stance and motion mode. It gives you like round times and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then we also had a practice mode, which would teach you a move, and then you would do the move, and then it would analyze you doing the move. I feel like that one was never as big because I feel like we could have made it better.
Kind of gimmicky, like.
Yeah, we just didn't. So it was all voice and text. So we didn't have videos.
Okay. Yeah.
We should have had videos.
Yeah. For the analyze feature, the one that you started with, is it really telling them unique stuff, or is it saying like, stop reaching back? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So I tell people it's mostly like the biggest thing is fundamentals. So it just evaluates it based on like most of the stuff that like the fundamentals of what you're doing.
Yeah, like you shot in for this double leg, but your head was down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not saying like, it's not getting like super granular. Like when Kale does an arm bar, he, like.
It'll do that sometimes. So it'll catch some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like you could have rolled
Surprises
through.
you.
Yeah, you could have rolled through. You could have done this and that.
Okay.
But like the biggest thing I wanted to make sure I got down was the fundamentals because that's why I was able to like start beating my friends.
Well,
just because I got really good at the fundamentals.
Well, and that's the most broad.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting really technical, then it goes over the head of 90% of wrestlers.
Exactly.
All right. So February hits, revenue drops. March is like, that's crunch time. Like what happens in March?
March, we're still doing okay. It was about, it was like March was like 20. April was like 15.
Okay.
Now we're stagnating at around like 10. But that's our floor.
Did you see churn?
So that's all monthlies.
Like shoot up in February, March, April when the season ends?
I thought we were gonna. Not really. It was just we stopped getting as many new yearlies.
Okay.
That's what caused the revenue decline.
Yeah.
But it did, like, don't get me wrong, it increased.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, I was expecting February 1st hits, 0 subs. That's what was in my mind. I'm like, all right, like it is what it is. Like, I knew that this was going to happen. I like braced myself for it.
Yeah.
The churn kind of went like that. And then it kind of just stayed the same.
Okay.
But we just started getting less new yearlies. And most of our revenue was coming from yearlies.
Gotcha.
So like the 10 is basically just all renewals.
Now, are you slowing down your outreach playbook during this time?
Yeah, we stopped.
Just because it's not as effective?
We stopped, and like there was a lot less influencers we really wanted.
Okay.
So we stopped.
Because you learned what a good influencer looked like.
Yeah. Okay. We stopped really signing influencers. We kept the team we currently have. We were experimenting with paid, but we were never going crazy with it. So we kind of cut paid a little bit. And then we were just for the next few months now until August, we're just going to be coasting and rebuilding the product.
Okay.
So like I'm thinking about hiring now someone to just rebuild the product.
Yeah.
And make it all nice.
So do you know what your lifetime value is?
Like our LTV?
Yeah. Of a user.
I don't really. I know our month 1 LTV is like the average of user purchases is around $25
for their first purchase.
Yeah.
Because it's like half are doing 60, half are doing 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So your LTV is probably closer to like 50, I would think.
Yeah, I would say around there.
Okay. So if you spend $1,000 on videos, like $2 RPM for 500,000 views, you spend $1,000 on like normal times. How much in revenue do you expect that to return to you? Like so total revenue.
If we spend $1,000
on influencers and
So if I spend $1,000 at $2 CPM, a $2 CPM should yield back like a $5 to $10 RPM. So we should see back like 2,500 to 5K.
okay.
Let's say.
So 2 to 5x return on ad spend.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Now I scale things differently though. So for these latest 2 apps, the way I run these latest 2 apps, instead of like a influencer or whatever, I have like just a kid I trust who like I could basically tell what to do and they'll do it.
Okay.
Because like since I'm working too, I only have like, let's say 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll tell the kid exactly what to do. He'll do it. And then I'll just fund the project. And I've started like learning how the meta ads algorithm worked.
Mm-hmm.
So these 2 latest apps are like able to scale both to 10K in like 45 days. And it was solely through just creators and meta ads.
Same playbook plus paid ads.
Same playbook, except paid ads just made it 10 times faster. So I didn't need to sign 10 creators. And I didn't need to saturate the niche to really have an effect.
Couldn't you do that for WrestleAI?
I didn't know how.
Yeah. No, you will. You can and you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when the season starts.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to tell you about something I've been building behind the scenes. You've been watching my videos about AI tools and asking the same question. Okay, cool. How do I turn this into a business? Not just playing around with AI, but actually getting clients and getting paid. That's my community. It's called Playmakers, playmakersai.com. It's an AI agency program where we show you how to start an AI consulting business where you can charge local businesses $500 to $5,000 a month to set up and manage AI tools for them. It's not a course you watch and forget about. We do 3 to 7 live training calls every week taught by me and 23 other expert AI agency owners. You get plug and play templates, Claude code tutorials, AI voice agent frameworks, automation templates, and a 30-day roadmap so you don't fall off track. This is stuff you can just copy, paste, and deploy for clients on day one. And of course, how to find clients as well. We also have a 5-day first client challenge where we can walk you through landing your first paying client in 5 days. You also get my frameworks for cold email, Facebook ads, SMS, cold calls. And then I hand you my leads galore spreadsheets with actual leads in your niche, in your area. We've already got over 200 people in there building real agencies. If you miss a live call, it's all recorded. So if you've ever thought about starting an AI consulting business or AI implementation business, go check out playmakersai.com. Okay, so is the playbook, find the right influencer, find out what, so like the new app launching playbook, right? Pick a niche, find creators in that niche, figure out what type of creator is the most effective, triple down on them, find their best organically producing videos, push paid behind those.
Or, because sometimes, so Corey Zader, his videos don't work well as paid ads, right? Because of the fact that the integration's super subtle. So it's a day in my life.
He's more subtle than you'd like.
No, for organic, that's amazing.
Okay.
That's why he does really well.
For paid,
organic.
it's too subtle.
For paid, you need a direct CTA within like you need some sort of a CTA within 15 seconds.
In the first 15. Is that what you're saying?
Like roughly, you need to say like this is the product. You need to show the product within the first 15 seconds for paid. Organic, you have at least like 30. Paid, maybe you even have a less window.
Yeah.
And that's when like I started just realizing, like I started just looking on Meta Ads library, studying the best converting ads. And then from there, I'll find a creator that I like and I'll like just say, hey, can you just make these videos for me? I'll pay you for the videos. You don't have to post them. And they're like, oh, if I don't have to post them. UGC. Yeah, it's like
user generated content.
Exactly.
For apps.
Yeah. Okay. And then they make the video. It'll be something super simple that like gets to the point of what the app does.
And it's like an overt ad.
What?
It's an overt ad. It's very clear that this is an ad for WrestleAI, is what you're saying.
Somewhat, yeah. So it's like, for example, like
give me like the script.
Like the boxing app, right?
Yeah.
How I landed this punch. Boom. Guy gets hit, right? Before my match, I threw his video into the opponent analysis. So I threw my thing into this app. I saw that after every time he threw like this specific exchange, he would drop his hands, right? He throws this specific
Thanks to the app, I now know that.
Exactly. He would throw this specific exchange, bang, hit him. He would actually throw the opponent's videos into the app, and that's how he would get like the screenshot. Yeah. Right? That's literally the ad. That's the script.
How long is the entire video?
30 seconds probably.
Okay. The influencer will take this video. Will he edit it or you?
No, he edits it.
He edits it, sends it. He never posts it?
Never post it, no.
Now when you push...
Sometimes they post it. Sometimes we take videos that they post.
They can. They don't. Yeah. You don't need them to. It's just a bonus if they post it.
Most of the time we work with influencers, we tell them to post it. Like, well, they'll make videos to post, and then we'll either take those videos and rerun them as paid ads, but we'll also have like an influencer that'll post and will make paid ads for us.
Okay.
So they're like two separate deals.
Gotcha. Okay. So 30 seconds long. You mention it in the first 15.
Yeah.
And then you push paid ads behind it. Mostly Instagram, Facebook Reels.
Yeah, all Meta.
But
Just,
like,
we let Meta decide.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what Meta ends up choosing? Like, is it heavy Instagram, heavy? Because Facebook Reels are slept on. Facebook
They
Reels
are
exploding.
We have like huge traffic on Facebook.
Okay.
Shocked.
But you don't really track where they're showing it. You just say Meta placement is
No,
up
you just
to
give
you.
you just give Meta the spend.
Okay. So what do the unit economics look like on those paid ads then?
So for the boxing app, we have we spend 400 a day. We make around 9 to 12 back.
Okay. Right up front, or that's like LTV?
No, day
LTV.
one.
Okay. Wow.
I know. Yeah, so I really want to scale it, but now
And that's recurring though.
yeah, it's split
Okay. So you
between
spend 400 on a Tuesday, and on Tuesday you make 9 to 1200 day one, but that's also recurring.
yeah.
So day one is like 2 to 4x return on ad spend.
Yeah.
But lifetime is much higher.
Yeah, so that's why we're now getting into revenue cat payments, because so I've been just funding the project myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing is we're getting revenue cat. Revenue cat has a thing called, do you know what revenue cat is?
Never heard of it.
So revenue cat is like the paywall provider for apps. So
Okay.
it knows all of your paywall statistics and stuff like that,
Okay.
right? What they also do is they have a program called revenue cat payments, and it will pay you what you make day one, up to 80% of what you made, right?
Oh, they're fronting the payment and taking a percentage.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So that
they
way you can
take
put more into paid ads.
2.2%.
Otherwise, you're taking 60 days to get that money.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
How much do they take?
2%
Okay.
at the end
That's
of the
not
month.
It's not bad.
It's not bad if you have that, if you have like heavy ROAS, like day one ROAS.
You have to be able to afford it, but
And now I could take the 800, or let's say they pay 60%. So it'd be like what? They pay up to 80%. So it'd be, what's 20%? Like minus 160. So it'd be like 640.
mm-hmm.
Now you have 640 to spend on ads.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm really excited about scaling this app, because it's like super low effort on my part, at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the other guy's working very hard.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's a great guy.
This is the guy you said, Osama, or?
No. He's just a kid I know that's like, he's smart.
Okay.
So he's smart. I know if I tell him what to do, he'll like do it, and he'll do it well.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to scale that app up. And then we have another app that's a workout app.
Hold on. That other app, when did you start that?
I started that around 45 days ago.
Okay.
It's done about 18K this month.
So wrestling season ends. You're like, all right, let's kind of put this on the back burner till August, September. We'll fire it back up.
And also, I want more apps built on Rourke that are making more money, right? That's like Rourke's
'Cause
biggest.
you work for them.
Yeah, that's Rourke's like North Star metric, is how much are their users making.
Okay.
And that's why Rourke is like, I don't like to say it, but it's better than all the other platforms, because according to like the paywall providers, right? Revenue Cat.
Mhm.
According to Revenue Cat, out of all the AI app builders, Rourke apps are generating the most amount of revenue because they build the highest quality apps and stuff like that.
Other competitors are focused on signups and like vanity metrics, and they're like, we want our customers to be successful.
It's trying to be the Shopify for that, for apps. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
That, like, I think that's the thing that wins. In my opinion, case studies are what wins long terms.
Yeah.
CalAI was built in Rourke. That's a huge.
I didn't know that.
No, it wasn't. I'm saying if it was,
okay.
it would be the biggest. Like everyone who would then want to get into apps would try to build through Rourke.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you said, like Shopify.
Exactly. And then if gurus exist, that's like the goal, but gurus don't exist. You have to let gurus happen
What do
actually.
you mean gurus?
Info people are great at pushing stuff.
Yeah.
So like if you have an info guy pushing Rourke,
Yeah.
and that being like a part of the process.
Gotcha.
But I mean, info is a bit scammy, but
Yeah.
some people are.
Yeah.
But some people are great. Like there's some great info.
Okay. So you launch is it MMA? Is it boxing? Is it fighting? What is like the niche that you consider that?
So I launched 2. So
Well, I want to get to the second one.
yeah. First one, well, around the same time, but boxing.
Okay. Boxing.
That's like the newest one. The other one's a workout one.
Okay.
It's for it's
Which
just
I would think
workout.
that's a crowded space.
It wasn't my idea. I'll say like what it does. Basically, you take a picture of your abs, and it tells you how to get a better six pack.
That's smart. Is that like
I wasn't actually crazy about this idea, but I was like, when the kid so somebody hits me up on Twitter
Yeah.
to do this, and I like always hop on calls with people, tell them what I think and stuff like that. So like I hopped on a call with this kid, and he's telling me, he's like, dude, look up abs. There's no competition. This and that. He's going crazy. I'm like, dude, you're telling me people are going to take a picture of their abs, get a rating.
I think it's brilliant.
Well, it's been turning out pretty good.
We'll get to that.
I'm glad. But I sat there and I thought it was like so funny. Like I thought the idea was funny, but the kid had so much passion about it that I just felt such a conviction.
How do you say no to that? Yeah.
I'm like, this kid's like sitting here. He's like so passionate. There's no way this kid's not going to win. Like there's no way he's not going to win.
Yeah.
Like I know he's going to win. So, like the way he's talking to me, I know he's going to win. So
How old was he?
He's my age.
Okay.
So he's super funny.
Because like an app that will analyze your workouts, that's probably pretty crowded, I would think.
Yeah.
So he's saying, let's unbundle that.
Let's niche down just to abs.
I think, oh man. Do you know how many like billions of dollars have been sold on infomercials for like ab gear?
100%, yeah.
And that's what this is. It's the AI app version of that.
Yeah.
Like
I just couldn't, I think I just couldn't see it at the time.
Right.
But because it was like, because there's like a bunch of the looks maxing apps that kind of like gave
it
gave a bad look to like the ratings style apps.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So I was thinking of it as like, oh, it's another rating style app, but no, it's a huge niche. Like I agree. And so we started scaling it. We tried organic. Organic did pretty bad because we weren't sponsoring great people. So like we didn't have crazy results on organic. We started paid.
What kind of people were you sponsoring that didn't work?
It was like some of these, like what we found was when we would just show the cards. So when we would just show the ratings, right?
What do you mean ratings?
So you take a picture and it rates your six pack. It gives it like a score out of 100.
Okay.
When we would just show the ratings, we got downloads and like churn would spike. Like it'd be quick churn.
So you would show like a picture of someone's abs with a rating above it.
Yeah.
As an ad for the app.
Yeah. So it'd be like lock in, like the gym influencer lock in, takes a picture of their six pack, like whatever. And then that would be the ad, something like that, like hook, scan, that's it. Sometimes people would download and they would subscribe, but then they would churn out quick, right? And what the best type of videos were the ones that would show the actual, it would be rating workout and then them doing the workout. So because it would show like the app actually teaches you how to get a six pack.
Okay.
And we never we didn't think about this till
like
after
it's
the
a guy
first
doing
sponsor.
crunches.
Exactly.
Instead of just a picture of a guy's ab.
It would show the workouts tailored to your abs, like design or whatever, right?
I think that's an important learning point is like not all customers are created the same. Like you're getting these big spikes and you're like, this works. This is what we need to do. And then you see they churn, right? Whereas you might be able to spend more per customer. And so on the surface, it doesn't work as well, but the churn is next to 0. So it works much better.
Exactly.
Right. It's kind of like me, like when I'm acquiring newsletter subscribers, I might get subscribers that open at 80% instead of 60%, but they're clicking at 2% instead of 6%. It's like, well, if they're never clicking anything, the open rate is just a vanity metric. I need them to click. So I'd rather have 40% open rate and 6% click rate than 80% open rate and 2% click rate. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
100%. So then we started running meta ads. And then our meta ads started like, it was like we would be spending $100 a day, averaging around like 200 to 300. And then we just kept like, now we've been like slowly increasing spend.
So before we go heavy on the second app, tell me you said you're 45 days in to the fighting one.
Both of them, roughly.
You started both around the same time?
Yeah, it was like, it's almost the exact same like time.
Okay. And then what have the revenue numbers been for each?
So the workout one's at like 8 this month.
Okay.
Because it also had problems with like the co-founder started bragging about it on X.
Okay.
Started tweeting like on the workout one, we have a crazy conversion. We have like a over 20% like download to paid.
What is average?
Average is like 5.
Wow.
Some people don't even get 5.
Yeah. You guys are at 20.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so different?
We have a good onboarding, good pricing.
Okay.
And obviously like we're targeting the right people.
Yeah.
But he was bragging about our conversion rate. And what he pointed out in our paywall, which is like kind of compliant, like Apple even admitted that for the most part it's compliant. We passed review and all that. We never hid anything from Apple review. But on Twitter, you never post your app on, I mean, you could post it, but if you're doing anything that's anything close to being gray, never do that on Twitter because Apple's on there like a hawk.
Yeah. So,
and there's this one guy that quote tweets it and tries to report you. So he posted it. And if you look, it lists our monthly price in weekly terms. So it'd be like on the top, it would say monthly subscription. So it'd be like what monthly? It was like $11.99. So it's like, I don't know, like $2 a week or something, or 2.4. So it's like $2.40 a week and then $10 a month. And that's how it was listed. You could do that, but the weekly was above in hierarchy of like whatever.
Yeah.
Since the weekly price was above the monthly price.
Yeah.
And they were the same text size too, which is like
yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like it was the same text size, same everything.
But just the hierarchy of it.
Yeah, because the weekly was above, and some guy reported us to Apple. To be fair, what my friend also wrote in the tweet is he started saying like he was trying to like clickbait, so he was like a moral way to increase your conversions, right? So it wasn't even the fact that we did it. This was like really weird. This was like the weirdest thing I've ever had with Apple.
Yeah.
They removed us for 2 weeks. And I'm like making fun of the kid. I'm like, look what you did. Because like he's super amped up. He's like super hyped. He's like, dude, I've been like, whatever. I've been dreaming of this. I'm like, oh, look what you did.
Yeah.
And then we've spammed Apple, right? That's why like.
To get reactivated?
Yeah. Never accept, and this is for everything. I feel like not enough people have this mindset.
Agree with
Never accept what somebody does.
Never.
My Meta account got locked in, I got locked out. Like 2FA was broken in Meta.
Yeah.
Right? For my account, 2FA was broken.
Yeah.
So I couldn't log into my ads account. And this was when we were running ads for both.
Yeah.
Right? The way I got back in, it was like quick added everyone on LinkedIn that works at Meta, and I spam DM'd them, like begging them to fix it.
There's always a
solution. There's always a way.
Like don't accept anything at face value.
Never. So people
are like, I like to call it the throw your hands up attitude.
Yeah.
Dang it. Well, I guess that sucks. I guess I'm not in business. Like what?
Yeah. It's like, no, do anything in your power. I was about to like drive to Apple headquarters and protest to get like reinstated. So we finally get in contact with Apple. They call us up, right? And I told them it's because of the tweet. We still don't 100% know it's the tweet. I knew for a fact.
They're never going to tell you it's
no,
the tweet.
They showed us the screenshot of the tweet.
Oh, shoot. From this narc? What a loser, dude. This narc needs to go build something himself.
They showed us a screenshot saying, his words were, it wasn't the fact that you did anything wrong, because this isn't truly against your guidelines.
Yeah.
You could argue it is, right?
Yeah.
It's the fact you made us look bad.
Yeah. I believe it. Because it's their pride.
And especially on Twitter. Like you have to understand, Twitter's where investors are. Yeah. Twitter's are where like consumers are. Twitter's the spot where anyone is accessible.
Yeah.
Like you could get in contact with a millionaire who has like 400 followers on Twitter.
A billionaire.
Yeah, a billion. It's the best networking tool.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful what you say about the wrong people because everyone's watching.
Yeah.
So because we insulted Apple, a top Apple exec could go there and yell at his team right after.
Yeah.
Right? So they were like, you made us look extremely bad, this and that. We had to write an apology letter over email. Like
whatever it takes.
Like a page long.
You probably wrote that as fast as you could. Oh, did you use AI to write it?
Boot it up. Claude. Claude, make this the most deep apologetic essay ever.
My income depends on this.
We just wanted to say we are deeply, I think one of the lines were like as a company, we had to make, I forgot what it was. It was like, we took a step back. We took a step back and said that transparency comes first.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
And then thank God they approved us. He like the guy called us up after. He was like yelling at us. Calls us up after. He was like super nice. You ever need anything, like, hey, let us know.
I'm like, dude, I wrote that with Claude.
And then we went on like Twitter, like, we just want to say Apple's a great company.
Yeah. Dude, that's so interesting that like how much ego and pride still rule everything.
Yeah.
Like reputation, how we look, like at any level, $1 trillion company, down to the individual, it rules all.
A random, like it wasn't even me, right?
Yeah.
We're like, I mean, I don't even have a crazy amount of followers on Twitter, but like sometimes I'll have a tweet that gets like 20K views, something like that, right? It was a random kid on Twitter with like 400 followers that tweeted it.
Did that tweet do well?
He did get views, but he got views because the narc retweeted it. I'm not gonna. I blocked him on everything.
Oh my god!
Gotta hide that guy. Can't have that guy. It's just snooping my stuff.
All right, so you launched these 2 apps around the same time. What was and it's been 45 days since each of them launched.
Yeah.
And what's the revenue been for each of them since?
So
lifetime,
like 23 is the boxing one. And around 15 is the workout one.
How high do you think all 3 of these apps could go? Like what does like scale look like?
So my goal for the next So I'm leaving, potentially leaving work, right? Solely because I just want to focus on my own things. I think the company's still great, and I have nothing but kind words to say about them. But for the next 6 months, I want one big company. So like I don't want to be the guy with like 10 different SaaSes.
Well, you could have an app studio.
You could, yeah.
You know?
And that's what like my dilemma is. Like I know if I go and make a basketball app, I'll crush. I know, like I feel like
You have the playbook.
I have the confidence that I could go and crush in basketball, go crush in hockey.
Yeah.
I could just take over sports.
Yeah.
Which is still something I'm considering. But I also really have like a high desire to build one thing to be like I have a high desire to focus on one product, make sure that product's the best product possible, and make sure it's like making the most amount of money.
Yeah.
And solve like a really hard problem.
See, focus looks different for different people. I like to say focus is overrated, momentum is underrated. Focus for you could look like making niche apps with this same launch playbook over and over. It doesn't have to look like scale your wrestling app as far as it can go.
It could,
Focus can look different, right?
No, 100%.
I think what you could do, you could follow the exact same playbook as Flow Wrestling. You're familiar with them?
I don't know what their playbook is. I know
Flow,
them, but
you know Flow Sports?
yeah.
So if you watch me on YouTube, you notice I sell these $19 business plans. They're 30 pages. They're awesome. But you can get all of them combined for only $5 a month. So check that out at the link in the description. In addition to getting $300 worth of free business plans every month for the videos I post about, we also post exclusive videos not available to the public, only to you, for $5 a month. Cancel whenever. We also give you priority replies to your comments. You'll have a little badge by your username on YouTube, so we'll see you. And it's just a cool way to say, hey, I'm more serious about this than everyone else watching these videos. You know Flow Sports?
Yeah.
Flow Sports started with Flow Wrestling. And their thesis was, okay, everyone's covering, basketball games, college, this is collegiate basketball, collegiate football, whatever. But there's dozens of other collegiate sports that have rabid fan bases that ESPN will never care about. Not only do they not care about, but they will never care about. We need to do the hard, tedious thing and get boots on the ground in not just colleges, not just D1, but D2, D3, and high schools to film wrestling matches, right? That was their thing. And it's like, we're going to do this tediously. We're going to have guys in Omaha, Nebraska, in Fresno, California, all over with a camera filming wrestling matches. Not just like any wrestling match, but starting with like the most popular.
High profile ones.
Yeah, like Beast of the East for high school is like a huge nationwide tournament, or basically any D1 match, Iowa versus Iowa State, whatever. So that was their whole playbook, paywalled from day one, $10 a month, $120 a year or whatever it was. And they started with wrestling. Their whole company was flowwrestling.com for years. And then they're like, all right, like we feel like we've got a good playbook now. Let's go. I think they went track and field next. Then went cross country, gymnastics. And now it's Flow Sports. And it's a multi-$100 million company. And they just film and live stream and have a database of these collegiate and high school sports events. And now they make like documentaries and like, they're like the Netflix for underappreciated sports, overlooked sports, both high school and college. So like you could do the same thing with your app studio. You know what I'm saying? Like you could roll them all up under the same company, start with wrestling and go to other sports or other niches or other workout apps or whatever. Like you could still focus, but have dozens of different apps.
That's true. And that's something I've been like kind of like wrestling with.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
But that's something I've been like in between. I don't know kind of which path I'm going to take.
Well, what are you wrestling between? Like it's either, what are the options in front of you?
I'm still going to scale these apps that we currently have, right? Because it's like, I have someone that I could always hire, right? For WrestleAI, I'm probably going to hire. I'm going to hire someone that could like just do the ops and stuff. And then like, kind of like how I have these relationships with these other two kids that are, one's doing the workout app, one's doing the boxing app, and then I'm going to get someone to do the WrestleAI app. And then all it takes from me is just like a little bit of direction and that's not a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right? A little bit of direction and like money.
Yeah.
So that's not a lot of work. And that's what I'm thinking about. And then like scaling those and then maybe trying to make like one app, like particularly maybe like, so one of the apps I was thinking about is, have you ever heard of Superpower?
No.
So it's like a health analytics app. So it's like a blood work app. Like you download it, it uploads all your blood work stuff to AI, and it like basically tells you like what you're like missing out on, what each means.
I know
stuff
Function.
Like that.
I use Function Health, and it seems like the same thing.
Yeah,
I pay $500. I get 2 blood panels a year, It all goes to the app, and then they give me all this analysis.
Yeah. So I was thinking about maybe potentially, because it's higher ticket, but I don't know. I'm not sold on what I would want to do that could be bigger, or just scaling this up to like 100 apps.
Yeah. So if I were you, like very specifically, I would create a parent company that you own 100% of.
Yeah.
Right? George LLC.
That's kind of what I have now. Yeah.
And then all of these apps you start should be independent LLCs.
That's what. Yeah.
Some of them you have partners, right?
Yeah.
Like the first Hayden, what's it?
Caden.
You have different splits, and like 50% is owned by George LLC, 50% is owned by him.
That's how it's structured.
Right.
Yeah.
And then everything, when you make a distribution for the wrestling company, it funnels up to George LLC. And then when you can afford it, you pay George from George LLC.
Yeah. That's how I do it.
Yeah. I would just do that at scale, and just know every year you're probably going to be culling apps. You're going to be cutting them.
Yeah.
Down.
100%.
That's not anything to feel bad about. It's just the 80-20 rule exists everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you have 30 apps, I can already tell you that 20 of them will be okay, or maybe even 25 will be okay, and 5 will print all your money.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're just going to have to cull them over time. I would like scale the crap out of that. Like that could be a publicly traded company. That could be huge. I don't see any reason why you couldn't and shouldn't do that. Like you have the playbook.
Yeah, I agree. I think my big concern is hiring.
What about it?
Being able to hire good people that could do it. They could like run them.
Why not? Why couldn't you?
Before we launched, I actually had a few more that we were potentially launching, and it was the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
Right. It was these two were actually great kids,
Mm-hmm.
and the other few people I tried hiring just sucked.
It's the same thing with the apps. Like you just have to churn through people.
Yeah.
You do.
Until you find good hires.
80-20 rules everywhere. It's a law of the universe, like gravity, literally. So you hire 10 people that appear to be rock stars. A year, 10 years from now, 2 of them will be rock stars.
Yeah.
The other 8 you're filtered through. But what you're going to learn is 5 years from now, you're going to have filtered through so many non-rock stars that your whole team will be rock stars.
And then you kind of have something to like, you know what to look out for.
Yeah. You just like your influencer strategy.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get better at identifying the rock stars so you don't have to churn through as many. That's what I would do. Like that will make a lot of money if I were you.
That sounds sick.
Do you ever use YouTube or YouTube ads at all, or is it just TikTok?
I want to get into that now with the boxing one.
Okay. What about TikTok ads paid on TikTok?
That's what we were doing for Wrestle when we were optimizing for downloads, but like never optimally.
Okay. All right. So we've talked a very specific playbook here, but if someone wanted to go out and start their own app like you've done, what advice would you give them? What would the playbook be that we maybe haven't covered here?
Yeah. So like literally my 0 to 1 is understand your app needs a gotcha feature, right? It needs one feature that you run advertising on.
Okay.
That feature, the job of it is to explain the entire app in 5 seconds. Like,
and it might not be the feature that they use the most, but it's the feature that's going to get them in the door.
yeah.
Okay.
So visually, you should be able to look at your phone and understand exactly what it does. If you need, give your phone to your mom. If she doesn't understand what the app does, like it's not good.
Yeah.
Right. After you have that, I would then, and I get like flack for this, but like this is what I would do if I needed to go from 0 to 1. I haven't done this for some of these other apps. Like I didn't do this for SAI, but I've done this before and it works. Bought up your Instagram account.
Bought it?
Yeah, like when you're a brand, pay for the verification, pay for followers in the beginning.
Okay.
You're
Where do you go to pay for followers?
there's a site Moz SMM.
Moz SMM.
Yeah, it's MOWES.
And it costs next to nothing.
It's $1 per whatever per 1,000 followers.
Okay. And you're saying it's worth it just for social proof?
In the beginning of your outreach, you're gonna get the biggest problem is when you're gonna be outreaching into the void in the beginning. You're gonna
and
be
they're going to
sending
look at
DMs.
your profile.
They're gonna click on your profile.
Okay.
They're gonna see, bro, this guy has 0 followers. Why would I work with him?
Yeah.
If they see that you have the 3, so your first 3 posts should just be like shots of the product that look really nice. You should have like 15,000-ish followers.
Okay.
Pay for the verification if you can. And then once they see that, the likelihood of them working with you doubled.
Do you pay for views on those 3 videos as well?
No.
Doesn't even matter?
No. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really I did the bot following before, but usually when you start collab posting with a lot of your influencers, that's the best bet. So once your first 5 influencers start posting, push for their first videos to all be collabs, because now your page looks even nicer.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a brand, I could see the videos, I could see other creators that have worked with them. I may know them, right? he's getting thousands of like hundreds of thousands of views. He has a lot of followers. His like account looks very neat and professional.
Yeah.
And you're a legitimate person. And when you're a legitimate person, right? If I worked with 10 influencers that this guy knows and I offer him a cheap rate, he's just going to think that that's the rates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's just going to be like, okay, these are the rates. I either accept it or I don't. But these are the rates. I'm not getting gypped. Right?
Yeah.
I see these guys work with them. If I'm a no name and I'm just some kid, right? Which I've been just some kid. That's how I know this.
Yeah.
And then I offer you like $2 CPM. I get like laughed in my face. Oh, you're just a broke kid who like knows nothing about this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It like doesn't matter. If your account looks professional though, they're much likely to take a deal.
Yeah.
For cheaper. And so that's my main strategy. The DM, you send as many DMs as you can. The DM should be paid promo, and the paid promo for app name. That should be the first line always. Experiment with it, I would say, because a lot of people are doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
But you just want to, because they're going to look at your DM through that little,
like the preview,
the first like 4 words.
Yeah, before they click on it.
Before it gets like cut off by the dots,
Yeah.
right? Some of them won't even click on it. So if they see paid promo, the likelihood of them clicking on it.
I'm going to get money.
Right? Exactly. That's the first thought that gets sent to their head. Oh, I'll make money off this guy.
Yeah.
Send as many DMs as you can. I would say after you make your first $1,000, hire a VA instantly. The ROI is infinite on VAs.
Yeah.
And experiment with meta ads. But I wouldn't experiment if you don't have, I'm gonna say $3,000 to like, if you're not willing to spend $3K on ads, I wouldn't do it.
Just do this outreach stuff first.
I would do influencers and influencers. I would do influencers only. If you have over 3K, I would say, yeah.
How many, what's like the minimum amount of followers you want out of an influencer?
I honestly don't care about followers. I care about average views.
Okay. What are you looking for?
25,000.
Average giver. So some are 5, some are 50, some are 100, some.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were starting basketball AI,
yeah,
you're going to go reserve the handle on Instagram, basketball AI. Is that what you're going to first start? Okay. You're going to seed it with 15,000 fake followers for 15 or 20 bucks.
Yeah.
Then you're going to make a few videos that look nice, post them. Doesn't matter how many views they have. They just need to see you've posted something. You're going to get
You need posts of your like product shots, basically.
Gotcha.
Like statics of your product.
Then you're going to get meta verified, which is like 20 bucks a month, 16 bucks a month with the blue check mark. Then you're going to start doing outreach that starts with paid promo for basketball AI.
Yeah.
That's a playbook.
And then you just send as many DMs as you possibly can.
Okay. And then you vibe code the app. Use it work or whatever.
Yeah, you just build out the app.
And you want to have one killer feature. You want to test all of your killer features in your ads or in your organic videos, but find the one that seems to resonate the most and then triple down on that.
Yeah.
And that gets them in the door, whether they end up.
I would say reverse, actually. So you should have an idea of which feature was going to be the best. And I would first only push that feature.
Yeah.
And then experiment.
Yeah. It has to be visually simple to explain.
Yeah. Like WrestleAI, when we saw that like our influencers would saturate, they kept posting about WrestleAI and like the results weren't starting to like lessen per video, we would then have them introduce another feature of the app. And that's when then re-triggered the jumps.
Gotcha. It's like a brand new app.
Yeah, it's like another side of the app that they haven't seen before.
Yeah. Okay.
And it educates them more.
So you started this less than a year ago. What has your revenue been to date so far across all of these projects?
So to date, I think 225,000.
In like 9 months of building vibe coding apps without any coding experience.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. $250,000. Most of that profit. I mean,
yeah.
A lot of time for sure. You paid a VA, you've paid your influencers, but maybe if like whatever ate into your profit was just paid ad spend that will pay profits in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Like your percentage profit would have been much higher even if your revenue would have been lower had you not done paid ads.
So I used to be super worried about profit. Like I used to sit there and like try to max, like, it's like you should do it. And at times you should do maximize profit, right? And the reason I did that was because I had a lot of limiting beliefs when I first started making money on WrestleAI. I was like, all right, tomorrow the app's going to die. Tomorrow the app's going to die. How many wrestlers are there? I'm going to run out of wrestlers. I'm going to this and I'm going to that. I think that was the biggest thing that held me back.
Yeah. Scarcity mindset.
Scarcity. Yeah, I thought I was going to run out of wrestlers. I was like, oh, that's it. I'm just going to run out of wrestlers. And then I would have spent all the money to acquire them and I would never make any more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make, it was just like a fear. Right?
Right. It's natural.
Yeah. Now, like, that's why these new apps, I don't like, before like a 50% margin wouldn't like excite me. I would be like a 50% like 2x ROAS wasn't what I was aiming for, right? Especially because I only had $1,000. So at the time I needed more than a 2x ROAS. But then once I got money, I would be like, bro, 2x ROAS, then I'm losing this money. And then I'm like, what? Now that I understand, like, okay, like you should just try scaling things to be as big as possible. Like now 2x ROAS, I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to scale this up until my CAC payback's like 90 days.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't need the money now. Like I have money set aside. Like, so like now that I'm leaving this job, I literally set money to the side. This is what I'm going to live on. I have like, this is my like, my personal runway is like 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Right? If I need be, I'll go to like Thailand and like.
You don't have to.
No, what I'm saying is like any means necessary, right? I don't care at all. Like I'm not even gonna think about profit. I just want to I just want to grow the business to be as big as possible for these next 6 months.
Yeah, and the profit will come.
Yeah.
Any other tips of advice that you may have missed that people should learn?
It's really just don't have limiting beliefs and just keep doing different things until it works.
Yeah.
Like keep trying stuff.
I always say test everything except drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my catchphrase on this. George, this has been amazing.
This is awesome.
Where can people find you?
I have an X that I post on sometimes.
Okay, we'll link to that.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been dreaming about my first in-person podcast since I was first vibe coding my first app. This is what I was thinking about. This is awesome.
If you like this content, please share with a friend, hit a like or a comment below, and we'll see you next time on the Koerner Office.